Hello, thank you for tuning into Kaieteur Radio. I am Kevin Smith. These are the top stories we are tracking. Exxon installs upgraded gas compressor system on Liza Destiny. EPA approves application to flare more gas until tests completed. Venezuelan woman fearful for life after stalker tries to throw her in car trunk. An $88 million subvention disbursed to NDCs and municipalities in regions 5 and 6. Meanwhile, opposition MP arrested over cybercrime allegation. 2 UG professors win a Guyana Innovation Award. Meanwhile, dispute over birthday dress lands 2 in court. And government launches $15,000 childcare subsidy for essential workers. And World Bank approves additional $6 million for COVID-19 response vaccines in Guyana. Stay tuned to stay informed. And now for the news in detail. ExxonMobil subsidiary, Esso, announced yesterday that the upgraded and repaired discharge silencer for the flash gas compressor and a new venturi were safely installed on the Liza Destiny vessel, with the first phase of testing successfully completed earlier this week. The flash gas compression system was started up on June 19th last for the first testing phase and was shut down on June 28th in order to remove temporary probes and instrumentation. Now, during the first testing phase, Exxon said it was able to reduce the flare up to pilot level. Pilot level means 1 million standard cubic feet of gas. Public and Government Affairs Advisor Janelle Prasad said the EPA approved the company's application, which will allow it to flare gas until July 24th, 2021. In other news, the World Bank approved yesterday $6 million in additional financing for the Guyana COVID-19 Emergency Response Project to support affordable and equitable access to COVID-19 vaccines and ensure effective vaccine deployment in Guyana. The World Bank noted that the project will also support general preparedness, resilience, and overall health system strengthening. This additional financing to the Guyana COVID-19 Emergency Response Project, the World Bank noted, will fund the acquisition of COVID-19 vaccines. According to the release, the original project was approved in November of 2020 to support Guyana's pandemic response and strengthen the country's health system. $5 million of the additional financing that was approved yesterday comes from the International Development Association. And now let's tell you an evening of gaffe at a roadside with friends on Sunday almost turned into a tragedy for a Venezuelan woman who was almost abducted by her stalker and his accomplice. Fearful for her life after her harrowing experience is Christina, not her real name, and she recalled that it was around 21 hours 40 when the men pulled up in a white car and stopped in front of her apartment building located at the corner of Cummings Street and North Road in the city. Christina said she had gone there to meet with her female friends who had recently returned from a mining area in one of the interior locations in Guyana. Get the full details in today's Kaieteur News. And now let's tell you the 10 NDCs in Region 5 have received $25 million in subvention, while another $63 million in subvention was handed over to 18 NDCs and 2 municipalities in Region 6. Minister of Local Government and Regional Development Nigel Dharamlal charged the NDC chairpersons, vice chairpersons and overseers to put politics and discrimination aside and build a relationship with the respective communities, which would create mechanisms to resolve challenges. He said that the government will not tolerate unprofessional behavior at any NDC, and he plans to recommend to the Local Government Commission that workers be dismissed if they conduct their ways inappropriately. And now let's tell you, University of Guyana professors Subramaniam Gomathiam, Director UG Berbice Campus, and Raymond Jagisar, a senior lecturer at the university's Turkine campus, were recently recognized by the Guyana Innovation Prize stakeholders for their outstanding work in science and technology innovations in the field of agriculture and food-based science, respectively. In a release, UG noted that the professor of biology of plants, biotechnology, and plant cellular biology, and Professor Jagisar lectures in organic and inorganic chemistry in the Department of Chemistry. They are both recipients of grants for their innovative projects under the 2021 Innovation Guyana Prize. You're listening to Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and, of course, 99.5 FM. We will return with more news after the break. Welcome back. Let's continue with the news. APNU AFC MP Annette Ferguson was yesterday arrested after a senior member of the GDF made an allegation against her in relation to one of her Facebook posts. According to police, the GDF rank's allegation is that Ferguson falsely alleged in a Facebook post that the said GDF rank will be in charge of a quote-unquote killing squad. As such, the MP was arrested for a breach of the Cybercrime Act of 2018. Ferguson denied the charge, and according to Crime Chief Wendell Blanham, she was later released on self-bail. A police report stated that the investigation into the matter is ongoing, and upon completion, the file will be sent to the Director of Public Prosecution, Shalimar Alihak, for legal advice. In other news, as a way of giving back to persons who are working above and beyond the call of duty, the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security has launched a $15,000 child care subsidy for essential workers. Children 7 years old and younger who are attending a licensed daycare or night care facility will be able to benefit from the grant. This means that a child who is 7 years old and younger and is attending a licensed daycare night or care facility will benefit from the grant, and also the subsidy will also come in hand for persons who are working at and below minimum wages and at night need a safe place for their children or child. And now let's tell you, 2 months after the decomposed body of Linden woman Shauna Dover was found in a shallow grave at the back of her boyfriend Shaquan Allen's home, who is the main suspect, remains on the run, and police reportedly have no clue where he is. In fact, the woman's family has since intimated that they are convinced that the police have given up on the case. Family members disclosed that ranks have stopped engaging them on the investigation. Last Friday, Deputy Communications Officer of the Guyana Police Force, Stan Kavaya, said that there are no updates on the matter and made it clear that once the major crime unit takes over a case, the regional division is no longer in control of it. This is the reason the regional divisional commander, Hugh Winter, had no comment to give to this media house when asked about the case. And interesting news, a designer and her customer yesterday appeared before a city magistrate after a dispute over a birthday dress allegedly ended with both women wounding each other. 34-year-old Keisha Edwards, a designer, and 25-year-old Melissa Calder, a UG student, both denied the charge, which alleges that on June 16, 2021 at Georgetown, they unlawfully and maliciously wounded each other. We understand that Calder had made a down payment of $30,000 for Edwards to make a birthday dress for her. When Edwards sent a photo of the finished product, Calder told her that that was not the requested design. She asked for a $20,000 refund, but Edwards insisted on making adjustments to the dress, and a scuffle then ensued between the two. They were both granted bail in the sum of $5,000, and the matter was adjourned to August 10th. At this time, we now head over to our COVID-19 update. The Ministry of Health yesterday announced that a 52-year-old man from Region 4 who tested positive for COVID-19 has died. As a result of this, the country's COVID-19 death toll has moved to 469. 96 new cases were recorded, taking the total number of confirmed cases to 20,055. 12 patients are in the COVID-19 ICU. 94 persons are in institutional isolation, 1,440 are in home isolation, and 6 are quarantined institutionally. Additionally, 161 recoveries were recorded yesterday, bringing the total number of recoveries to 18,440. And just before we wrap up today's news at noon, let's head over to the page 7 of the Kaieteur News dedicated to being blunt. Eco Atlantic is back with a bang in Guyana's murky oil business. When Eco Atlantic comes back like that, then all Guyana gets banged up in seemingly incestuous business relationships. Another piece of the rich Kanji block is gobbled up in suspicious circumstances. We put this question before Guyanese. When has anything with this fabulous oil wealth of ours been anything but suspicious? Under former President Donald Ramutar, under former President David Granger, under current President Irfan Ali, under his point man and oil mastermind, Vice President Bharat Jagdeo. The foreigners come and carve out their sweet pieces of oil blocks. Locals are left with sucked out bitter cane stalks to make kite and make themselves happy. This is the kind of leaders that Guyanese have. They sold the children out. They're so greedy, and some might say they're good for nothing, that they would sell the coffin in which they bury this nation. Look at them, PPP leaders, APNU AFC leaders. They must realize that enough is enough. Stop betraying the nation. And with that, we've come to the end of today's News at Noon. Kevin Smith here. Thank you for listening.
Want value for your advertising dollar? Then place your ads on Kaieteur Radio's newscasts. Streamed live on 6 different mediums, reaching hundreds of thousands. Advertise today and watch your dollar grow. Call us on 225-8465 or 226-8210 today.
It is now 12 hours 22 in Guyana. Coming up, a short excerpt from the Glenn Lal Show, Tell It As It Is.
Guyana, we are returning to